Keith Pitt, fiery scenes at the press conference today. Have a look at this.
Have invariably described Kevin Rudd as a psychopath, a micromanager, a control freak. Is this the person that your government needs to have in Washington? Are you worried about essentially having a second foreign minister in the United States?
Kevin Rudd is an outstanding appointment. He brings a great deal of credit to Australia by agreeing to take up this position as a former Prime Minister.
Keith Pitt, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm actually feeling a bit of sympathy for the poor DFAT bureaucrats who are going to have to deal with this guy. Do you reckon this was a misstep for the Albanese government?
Oh, I don't know Kevin well, but the very few things I've read about him are not glowing endorsements, I've got to say. But this is one of our most important relationships. And I noted that I was on with Steve Conroy, so I did a bit of research, and I think I'd be happy to give my time up to hear Steve's explanation, because this is a cracker.
Well, yeah, I mean, Stephen Conroy, I could ask you what you think, but I think you left nothing unsaid about this on the Today Show about Kevin Rudd back in the day. Have a look.
Kevin Rudd had contempt for the Cabinet, contempt for the Cabinet members, contempt for the caucus, contempt for the Parliament. And ultimately what brought him down was the Australian public worked out that he had contempt for them as well.
Stephen Conroy, will Kevin Rudd also have contempt for the American people, the Biden administration, the State Department, and everybody else in D.C. too?
Look, I don't think it's rocket science to work out that Kevin and I aren't friends. But the great thing about the American alliance, which is why I'm a lot more relaxed than you are, unfortunately, James, I think you might need a Bex and a good lie down, is that it is bigger than any president, it is bigger than any prime minister, and it's bigger than any diplomats going in either direction. It's founded in shared values, it's founded in common belief in international rules and order. And so it doesn't matter who is in any of those positions, the relationship between the American people and the Australian people, you know, overcomes all of those things. So I'm not as worried. And obviously Rudd has credentials in this area. And I think that he will distinguish himself as only he can in that role.
But Keith Pitt, just over to you on this one. I mean, yes, you can say that the alliance is much bigger than the people who are involved in managing the relationship. That's true. But Kevin Rudd also has had a lot of things to say about things like the AUKUS arrangement, and said we should be getting our subs still from France in the past. Are you concerned that he'll be able to shift gears in the necessary way to manage the relationship with the settings that it currently has now? Keith Pitt.
Well, one of the jobs of ambassadors is to deliver on the government's policy and the government's commitment. And I think Kevin was never delivering what his caucus or the policies of the Labor Party was. I'm a bit concerned that he'll be another loose cannon that'll just run off in whatever direction he chooses. I think that's the danger. Look, I understand Stephen's reluctance to make too many more comments. There's plenty of them out there on the record about all sorts of awful things. But this is a decision of the Albanese Labor government that they said they wouldn't make. It's just like the $275 for your electricity reduction. You won't see that any time either. This is another broken promise.